In this video, I'm going to show you why popular and widespread advice, tools, and techniques that you've been taught by well-meaning self-help and personal development coaches, gurus, and teachers can be extremely harmful and why they aren't working for you. In the end of this video, I'm also going to share a free resource for you to help you identify the things that aren't working for you so you stop wasting time and energy, and how to start doing the things that will work for you. This will come in especially handy to you if you're an empath, highly sensitive, intuitive, or spiritually inclined. So watch until the end for this freebie. Hi, my name is Tree, and I help you master your energy so you can heal your past and create a new and empowered future. Let's dive in. All right, so most empaths struggle to protect their energy from others. They struggle to heal their emotional wounds and move from a place of weakness, fear, and disempowerment to a place of strength, knowing, and power. We have done so much work on ourselves, from workshops and seminars to online courses and self-help books and beyond. We've created vision boards, gratitude lists, and we've cried our share of tears in therapist offices. And yet, we still find ourselves reliving and repeating the same toxic patterns in our lives over and over again. Just when we thought we'd finally healed and moved on, bam, something happened, and we're right back where we started, feeling like we'll never get this spiritual growth stuff right. The problem is not us. It's that we're bombarded with one-size-fits-all advice. And you and I both know our individual problems, challenges, or experiences are not one size. What works great for me may be absolutely detrimental for you, and vice versa. So let me show you a powerful visual to demonstrate this. Stick Girl here is an empath who's in the first stage of her empathic journey. I talk about the 4 stages later, but for now, all you need to know is that Stick Girl is an identifier, which is the first and most painful stage of an empath's evolutionary growth. It's also the most powerful, by the way, because it has the strongest, most intense calling to grow. So it's not really a bad stage to be in. So now imagine that you and I are on a cruise together and we look out into the vast ocean and we see a woman out there in the water drowning. She's out there all by herself. No raft, no boat, no nothing. Just her, desperately trying to stay afloat and gasping for air. It's Stick Girl, the identifier. But we don't know this. We've never met her before, and we have no idea how she came to be in the middle of the ocean all by herself. So would I yell out the side of the boat, "Hey lady, visualize yourself being warm and safe in a dry home"? And then would you next to me chime in with, "Meditation is the answer. You're one with the ocean. We're all one and connected. All is truly well"? And maybe someone else on our boat hears us and joins in, yelling out, "What do you want to feel, lady? Focus more on what you have and how you want to feel and less on your problems. Practice an attitude of gratitude, girl. You've got this." Do we just leave her flailing in the water while we feed her all these spiritual truths? That's ridiculous, right? Instead of teaching her all this stuff, which is true and can help her eventually, what she really needs right now is a lifeline. She needs something to hold on to, a life vest, or for someone to pull her out of the water. She doesn't need spiritual truth and wisdom. She needs to survive, period. Nothing more, nothing less. At this stage, she needs a tool like a life vest that can help her survive, not just these current waves that are pounding her, but the next ones that come along too. And this is why one-size-fits-all tools, techniques, and advice is absolutely damaging. That's why telling someone without knowing their level they are the creator of their reality is damaging. You think poor drowning Stick Girl cares who's the creator of her reality in this moment? If she stops thrashing around long enough to think about it, she'll drown. That's why it's vital to learn the tools necessary to your stage and forget about the rest until it's time for you to get to them. Now, let me bring this down to reality, because we all know Stick Girl is a stick drawing and she's not real. Or is she? But even if she was real, we're not on a cruise ship every day and we don't come across drowning people in the ocean every day. So I want to give you a real life, nitty-gritty, down-to-earth example that will really drive in this point. So let me start by asking you 3 questions. 1, Do you think it's important that we try to love and understand one another no matter what? 2, do you think people are inherently good, but they do bad things because they're disconnected from source, from the light inside them? And 3, do you think we should try our best to forgive people because harboring resentment and anger towards them ultimately hurts us too? I don't know about you, but my personal answers are yes to all of these. I think this would be very good advice to give to someone, but only at the right time. Otherwise, it can seriously damage a person, and I'll tell you why I say that. So imagine that someone you know came to you in desperate need for help. She was just beat up by her husband physically, and she asks you what she should do. You tell her it's important that she try to love and understand him, that he's only doing these bad things because he's disconnected from source, and that she should try to forgive him. Your friend who just got beat up by her husband doesn't need to forgive him. She needs to get out of there. She needs to find that life vest, if you will, and get onto dry land. And then, after she's removed from the thrashing water and his drunken fists, only then can she start even thinking about the healing process of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not important right now. Survival is. She's not at that stage yet to forgive. She just needs to survive. Telling her she needs to forgive him now, while she's still in the throes of the abuse, will give her mind justifications to stay, to tolerate it, to withstand it, and she'll make excuses for him and for herself for remaining. She'll think she's being a good Christian wife, or a good spiritual student, or that it's her fault for not being loving, forgiving, and understanding enough. She'll make herself out to be either a victim or a martyr, but in actuality, someone gave her very good advice at the very wrong time, which makes it very bad advice. And she's using it as a crutch to stay stuck in her weakness and fear. Get it? This is exactly why it's really important to know where you are in your empathic journey. And this is why you might be struggling in your own growth right now, and why it seems like it's taking forever. It has absolutely nothing to do with your worthiness or your ability to get it. It has to do with trying to make a million different one-size-fits-all techniques work for your one very unique and specific point in your journey. It wastes an awful lot of time, tears, and energy trying even just a handful of them and finding out that they don't work for you. So that's why I've created a structured, focused roadmap that you can follow specific to your point along your journey. So you can go easy on yourself and stay focused on the things that matter for where you are and forget about the rest. By knowing where you are, where you want to go, and aiming in a direct path toward your vision and purpose, doing only that which is laid before you on the path, you can live an empowered, purpose-driven life. Nothing can distract you or steer you off path. So you'll grow faster, you'll move through your problems quicker, and you'll learn the lessons and move on rather than being stuck in them for weeks, months, or even years, going around and around and around in the same cycle. There's no more confusion about what to do anymore. You'll have clarity and purpose and direction and the right tools to get you from A to B. That's the power of knowing which stage you're in and having a clear blueprint. So these are the 4 stages of empathic awakening. The simplest and quickest way to tell which stage you're in is to just simply ask yourself, if your life were an ocean, which stage would you be in? In other words, how does life overall feel to you? Do you feel like you're drowning with no life vest? Struggling just to keep your head above water? Many of us feel this way about our finances, our debt, our bills. Some of us feel this way about our relationships. That's an identifier, stage 1. Or do you feel like you're surviving, but still constantly fighting the waves and waiting for the next big one to hit? When the world turned upside down with COVID, this is how a lot of people felt, if not the first identifier stage. The pandemic, the civil unrest, the political unrest, much of what happened out there was a reflection of what was happening inside us, and it amplified or magnified to us the things we needed to face and work on, not only within ourselves, but as a society, as a collective whole. This is the survivor stage, stage 2. Or maybe you've learned quite a few things like acceptance and witnessing, and you know how to swim when the water's choppy, and you know how to float with ease when it's calm. That's the third stage, the observer stage. Or do you feel like you're truly one with all life and that we're all interconnected? And I don't mean just knowing this conceptually as a very nice spiritual truth. I mean actually really embodying it and living this day in and day out as your way of being and interacting with others and situations in all of life. That's stage 4, the alchemist stage. It's important to feel into this because tools that used to work for identifiers stop working once you reach the observer stage. Or tools that worked for the alchemist don't work for the survivor. An alchemist has no use for a life vest, but an identifier without a life vest can't survive very long. That's why things like shielding and imagining invisible protective light bubbles works for some people and not for others. Every stage has its own set of tools that work best for that specific stage. So as you move from one stage to another, you'll leave the old tools behind and you'll pick up new tools suitable for your new stage. All right, so I've created a free quiz for you to find out which stage you're in, and I put that link in the description below. Once you take the quiz, you'll get your results along with the Empathic Awakening Roadmap, which is a blueprint so you can get clarity on where you are, where you want to go, and how to get there. Also, if you're new to my channel, thank you for watching, and please subscribe so you'll never miss out on any of my free resources or any of my videos. I really appreciate you. Bye.